All right, what's going on, everybody? This is wait a minute, just a second. All right, what's going on, everybody? This is LJ Johnson with The Rich. We are here doing our artist spotlight of the week. Mr. J. Lee, producer, the producer. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
So, how you doing today, brother?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I appreciate you for having me on, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, and big fan.
Appreciate it.
So, tell us about your story. You know, what led you to start doing music, and
man, yeah. So it's actually I was in college at OU.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people know that I played ball at OU. But it was actually the week before we went to Miami to play in the Orange Bowl for the national championship game.
Yeah.
We had a short time off. I went back home. And one of my best friends from my childhood that I grew up with, he was my best friend since first grade,
Yeah.
Savoy Smith, Icy Studios, shout out to Savoy. But he showed me this music. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I did this. And I'm like, what do you mean you did this? Like,
Yeah.
like you like, he's like, yeah, I made the beat and then I recorded. I'm like, how? You know? And so I was just like, so just enamored and just like so intrigued with what he was doing. And so went to the studio.
Yeah.
And he showed, actually, I take this back. This was around Thanksgiving break, right? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he took me to the studio, showed me what he was doing, and I was just like, oh, I like this. I want to do something. Mm-hmm. And so I had always written, like I started writing poetry when I was like in junior high, and I always enjoyed music, and I started teaching myself how to play the piano when I was in college.
Okay.
And so I was like, man, when I come back, I'm going to have me some songs ready, right?
Yeah.
So I went back to school, and then it was the week before we went to the national championship game. I went back home, and all of that time I had just been working on stuff, you know, trying to learn some chord or, you know, put some chord progressions together.
Yeah. And
I wrote a song and I recorded it, and I just fell in love with it, man. And that's how I got started in music production. And so, you know, obviously when I was in college, I did it that one time, and then it was probably another year before I did something else.
Yeah.
And then when I got signed to a free agent contract out of high school, or excuse me, out of college, I think I had like a $10,000 signing bonus, and I went and bought a bunch of music equipment. And from that point on, man, like every off season, you know, I bought some equipment, and that's what I did, man. In the off season, I'd just be in the studio all the time trying to learn and grow. And then after I was done playing ball, I moved back to Oklahoma. And I that's one thing I did, man. I was like, I'm gonna dive into this and just try and, you know, grow my craft, learn it as best I can, and work with people. And so, yeah, man, it's crazy because, you know, I look back now and it's been over, you know, almost 25 years of me doing music production. And, you know, think about all of the artists that I've had the opportunity to work with, all of the projects that I've done. And it's just cool because I constantly see that catalog growing, you know?
Yeah. What was the name of that song? You remember it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember it. Everlasting Love.
Everlasting
I
Love.
I want to give you my everlasting love. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Back when I was, you know, in still R&B head, man.
Yeah,
I was an R&B head. I grew up R&B head. So.
I was too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And so
I thought I was Tevin Campbell. You know.
I knew I wasn't. You start rapping when you know you can't sing. I knew
Right.
I wasn't Tevin Campbell.
exactly, that's real. That's why I stopped recording my own voice, because I was like, yeah, there's so many other people out there that's much better at rapping and singing than me. So I'm gonna let them get on this.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you? I know that you produce. So have you put stuff out that you do that you're singing on? And everything?
So the first album that I ever released myself,
yeah.
the Ace, I performed on it quite a bit, rapping and singing. But here's the deal. If you release an album with you rapping and singing on it, you got to perform. And I didn't like that.
Yes, you do.
No, yes. I don't like it, bro. You got to get up on stage
right. Yeah,
and
right.
you got to perform. Yeah, exactly. So like it's like yeah, this ain't me. And so
Well-
I got away from it, bro.
You still have to. I thought you still have to do some of that, even if you produce. Like if you just do a album where it's just you producing like your songs on there. I thought like you do like a DJ session type of deal.
No,
you don't do nothing in the mic. You just kind of like just playing the song. I
yeah,
seen
and I'm
Gotti
good with being.
do that.
I'm good with being in the background. Like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
been
yeah.
times over the years that I've been a part of bands.
Okay.
And did live gigs and stuff like that. Played the keys and stuff for live gigs or key bass. And I enjoy that part of it, but like being on stage, just me on the mic and everybody looking at me and I got to perform.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at all.
Don't like spotlight.
I didn't like it. And it's funny because like after I released that first album, those opportunities started coming for me to perform. And, it was one that we did for that album release that we performed at Refreshing Church. Mm-hmm. And bro, I promise you, it was the dopest concert in Oklahoma City that nobody ever heard of.
Really?
And it ain't about me. It was.
You talking about the most recent one?
No.
Yeah.
This was probably. Dang, it was a long time ago, bro. I released the ASA in 2012. So
okay.
This was probably about 2013 or something like that. But it was such a dope set that we did, and it was probably like 10 people there.
Yeah.
But it was so dope.
Yeah.
It was real cool.
I believe it.
But even after that, I was like, yeah, no, this ain't me.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to be on this mic like that. So, yeah. So that was actually the last time that I performed on an album up until this album. My most recent, the one that's releasing this Friday. It had been that long before and it's crazy too because I wasn't even able to write for all of these years.
Yeah.
Like even though it was sometimes that I do music and I really enjoyed the music, and I loved the song and I was moved by it. I try to write nothing, and so that's what's for me. That's what's I think one of the most beautiful parts about this album for me in my career as a music producer is it was like all of these things happening at once. And, the things that God was doing in my life, he was revealing a lot of things to me in my life through his word, through other people. But he was allowing me to express that through music for the first time in a very long time. And so it was really like this project is super special for me because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, what was the first song on this new project that came to you that you started producing that let you know like, oh man, this is about to be something here?
Yeah, so before I answer that question, let me kind of give you a background on the project. So in 2023, January of 2023, I took a trip overseas to South Africa. And it was like my first time ever like really being off the continent, you know what I'm saying? I'd been to Hawaii, I'd been to the Bahamas, I've been to Mexico, but like to go somewhere like that, it was my first time ever. And that experience, like it changed me like deeply. It was crazy, bro. Like the experience that I had, it changed me. And I had already been listening to a lot of Afro beats and like amapiano music. That's actually what led me to South Africa, was me connecting to the music. And so when I had a choice on where I wanted to do some programming for our student athletes, I was like, I want to go to South Africa. And so that experience, like it fundamentally changed me, right? And so I came back. I had already been really studying and trying to understand Afro beats and amapiano style music, but I was still missing the mark. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like a whole lot of R&B into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And the sounds that I was using wasn't quite right, and so it just wasn't hitting the mark. But when I was over there, I met. Actually, it was I went back again in May. And I met a DJ over there who also produces amapiano music, and he was like, "Man, like, yeah, I'll teach you." And so I'm like, "Cool." And so it really just took one track for us to kind of collab on, and I was like, "I think I got it." And from there, I just started like just pumping out all of these tracks, right? And so that brings me to answer your question. The first song that I did that I was like, okay, this is it. It's called "Oh How Precious Is His Presence," and it's it's not even Afrobeats. It's like Amapiano, and a lot of people don't even. Some people have never heard of Amapiano, but it's like really. You have?
No, I haven't. It's my first time.
Okay, so it's really. Its origin started in South Africa.
Yeah.
When you first listen to it, you could tell it's African music because of some of the percussion and stuff, but it is vastly different than Afro beats. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to get them mixed up, but once you understand it and you can identify it, then you can tell the difference. But it comes from like house music. It's like it's almost like house music with African percussion. The thing that really drew me to it was you have this very rhythmic, like African rhythms to it, but melodically, it sounds like really R&B-ish. Like a lot of the chords and progressions that they use, a lot of the instrumentation they use. And so for me, it was like the perfect combination of rhythm and melodies. It's like, it's beautiful. And so, "Oh How Precious Is His Presence" is an Amapiano style track. And the lyrics were inspired from a sermon that I heard from a pastor by the name of Pastor Preston Morrison, who's out of Scottsdale, Arizona, and if at Pillar Church.
Yeah,
you heard of him?
I have to look him up,
bro. Powerful, and it was just a short clip on TikTok that he was saying he believes that all of the closest friends of Jesus consistently spend time alone with him. And he was like, it's a sacred thing. And so he's saying, like, you know, I don't go into it, you know, half stepping. Like when I go into it, I go into it because it's sacred. And he's like, the reason I know it's sacred is because it cost the son his life. And I was just like, oh shoot. And so it took me through like this mindset that, you know, if you understand, you know, the Bible and the narrative of the Bible, you understand that like there was once, as the Bible says, that we were far off. You know what I'm saying? And like even like whether you Jew or Gentile, like Gentiles didn't have access to God.
Yeah.
Even the Jews didn't.
Yeah.
Like God tried to present themselves to them, and they're like, give us Moses, right?
Yeah.
And then furthermore, like if they wanted repentance of their sins, they had to bring a sacrifice, and the high priest had to go into the Holy of Holies, and he had to do all of these things. But the people, they were just like hoping that he didn't go in there. They had to tie a rope around him because if he went to there, he wasn't clean, he died. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so fast forward to Christ and his crucifixion and resurrection. It's like now because of that, we are back in fellowship and we are reconciled back to the Father. And so it's like, why would we not spend every opportunity that we have to be in his presence? Because now we have access to him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even more than the disciples did.
That access is important.
It is. Like the disciples, they walked hand in hand with Christ.
Yeah.
But to me, like us having the indwelling presence of the Holy Spirit, like that's deeper than being able to just walk and talk with Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what led me to write this song, you know, and it's just saying like, oh, how precious is his presence, and talking about how holy it is, and you know how you know it's so important for us to be in his presence as much as possible. And it changed my life, like literally, because now there's not a day that goes by that I'm not in devotion with God.
Amen.
And that's what led me to the name of the album, Complete Devotion. Was because when God was dealing with me on these things, and I'm like really searching, like Lord, like what are you doing and what are you trying to show me? And he really boiled it down to two things. He says, I want you to be completely devoted to me and find total satisfaction in me. And so like that's what this album is, man. It's like my presentation, my gift to God, you know, showing like, Lord, I am completely devoted to you in all things of my life. And really like my search on that journey to be totally satisfied in him and him alone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we need him every day.
Yep.
You know, we were created to worship.
Absolutely.
And completely devoted to him is what we were created to be.
That's it. That's what we're created to do. That's real.
And we go through periods of our lives of thinking we can do something else.
Yeah.
You know, you've been there. I've been there. Rich has been there.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about college. When I was I went to OU.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I can, just do whatever I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I had to go back and I wrote a song, and when I was in school.
Okay.
And the only song that I got on iTunes right now is that song.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that I could do whatever I would, not be devoted. And it's funny because I grew up a pastor's son.
Yeah.
But I was a pastor's son. I was bad, so I fit the
PC.
I fit that.
Or PK. My bad.
Yeah. PK.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's awesome, man. It's so important, man.
It is, man. It's funny because I had the privilege of meeting Pastor Preston Morrison.
Oh man,
and spending quite a bit of time with him over the course of 24 hours, and it was me and other people.
Yeah.
And immediately in being around him, you could tell that he has a grand, he has a wealth of knowledge and wisdom, right?
Yes.
And so people started asking him questions. Well, what do you like? How would you handle XYZ? What does the Bible tell us about this, that, and the other? And so by the, rolling into the second day.
I love those questions, by the way.
Yeah,
when people ask me those questions, I love it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. And so we rolled into the next morning, and somebody asked him a question. I said, before you answer it, let me guess how you're gonna answer it.
Yeah.
Draw near to God. Because that was like the basis of all of his answers was, draw near to God. Let's start there. And then he was like, in my experience, this is what I've shown. This is what the Bible teaches us, but really draw near to God. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the crux of that answers all of our questions. You know what I'm saying? If we really dive into with a deep level of devotion to him, he'll lead us, he'll guide us, and he's our wise counselor. You know what I'm saying? And so
there's a book called Purpose Driven Life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And there's a section in it called Practicing His Presence. And it tells you how to practice His presence, about how it's all about the same thing, drawing near to God and how to be in His presence at all times.
At all times, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Is that's what when you was telling me about the song, that's what it reminds me of.
Well, the truth is, what God has shown me on this path of drawing near to Him is that as believers in Jesus Christ, the death and the resurrection of Jesus Christ is that God is always present. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we have the indwelling of the Holy Spirit within us, right? But so many times we don't recognize His presence. You know what I'm saying? And if we have the understanding, just start with the fundamental understanding that He's present, right? He's present. If He's present, then He's at work, right?
Yeah.
And if He's at work, then we need to recognize that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so many times, we feel lost, dismayed, or discouraged because we feel like He's not working, or we can't see the evidence of that. And sometimes it's as small as this. Sometimes it's big. But once we're drawing closer to Him and we're drawing nearer to Him, and we start to recognize, one, acknowledging His presence, and then two, recognizing the work of His hand in our lives. Really, you don't have to look any further than when you wake up, like that.
All right.
That's it.
That's how.
That's the blessing. That's the
Yeah.
number one blessing of the day. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Is that He gave me another chance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That His mercies are new every morning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We need them.
We need them, Lord. Lord, we do. God bless, we do.
We need them. So you produce songs for Sid Carter, for Cam. Man, when I was a kid, I used to go to Cam's concerts and stuff.
Yes,
all
sir.
The time.
Yeah.
But I remember when you did the 24-hour thing.
Yeah, 24-hour project.
Talk a little bit about that, and because I stayed up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was in my 30s. Well, I'm still in my 30s, but it was my bedtime.
Yeah. That was a rough one, man. That was a rough one. But it was awesome though.
Yes, it's awesome songs, man. I still listen to them.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun project, man. And honestly, it was a random thought that I had, and I'd been looking to do it with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I talked to Cam, and he was like, "Man, you want to let's just do it." You know what I'm saying? He's like, "Cool, let's do it." And we just picked a day. The problem was like if I do it again, which I probably will one of these days, is we started in the morning.
Yeah.
I won't do that again. If I do it again, I'll start like at night.
At night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like work through the night
and
then work through the rest of the day. Yeah. Cause like start in the morning, by the end of the day, you tired, bro. And then you trying to make it like by the time you get to the middle of the night.
Yeah. It's like an extra push.
Oh gosh, it was rough.
Not
So
the
wait,
fourth
man,
quarter.
what did y'all do?
Oh,
It was a 24-hour project. And so we didn't have any expectations but to just try to do as much as we could in 24 hours. And so within that 24 hours, we ended up producing and writing, like producing from scratch, writing from scratch, and recording 3 full songs that we released as an EP.
Yeah.
And we pretty much we were on live the whole time.
Yeah.
Facebook Live the whole time.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was a cool, it was a fun project, and it was cool because different people was coming through. You know what I just realized?
What?
We was doing what Casanat was doing before Casanat was doing it.
Yeah.
Because people was pulling up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
People was pulling up and showing up, and
Yeah.
I can't even remember his name, man. I feel
They
stupid.
were showing up in the middle of the night, like all day and stuff.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
throughout the day and stuff.
Yeah.
People pull up and like my man, shoot, dang, his name slipped. Harold, he pulled up and brought us some food. You know what I'm saying? which was a huge blessing.
Oh yeah, because y'all sitting there just going the
Yeah,
whole time.
the whole like nonstop. Yeah. And then we had somebody else came through. Oh, it was Ray June. Ray June pulled up.
Oh, okay.
And he recorded something. He recorded some background vocals on the hook.
Okay. He's gonna be our featured artist in April. For
Okay,
overnight.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then, dang, I'm having a hard time remembering names right now. But the rap artist out of, I think he's in Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You know him.
I know so many artists. I have to.
Man, pull the album up. The 24-hour project.
24.
Yeah,
I had
24-hour
it.
EP.
Yeah.
God dang. I can
Uh,
see his face.
Let me see. It's right there.
So go back up. So right here, Kirk Kennedy. There we go.
Oh, Kirk Kennedy.
Kirk Kennedy.
Yeah.
And then, so he was just watching on live.
Uh-huh.
And as I was producing that track, he was like, "Man, that's dope."
Yeah.
And we like, "Get on it."
Yeah, we here.
And
We here
I
tonight.
finished it. I shot it to him. He recorded the same thing with Joy Murray. Exact same thing.
Oh, yeah.
So that track right there, 24-hour EP, Cam and Jay Lee, the producer, y'all can pull it up and find it. But they both got on it just from watching us on live, and they was like, "Man, that's dope. I want to get on that." Please. I've been wanting to do some work with Joy Murray anyway, and Kirk Kennedy, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, that was an awesome thing that they did.
Yeah, that was a fun project, man. Dope project.
So you got a new single out.
Yes, sir.
Talk about that. And
Yeah, so I just released my latest single a few weeks ago. It's called "Give Your Life."
yeah.
It's on the new project. Back in October, I released my first single for the project called "Burn for You," featuring Sid Carter.
Yeah.
But the most recent one, "Give Your Life," man, it was a song. Honestly, I just loved the track. It was just a dope track.
Right.
And as I was listening to the track, the lyrics "Give Your Life" came to mind, and so I just really started. I mean, that's really what it's talking about, is just giving your life to God and living for Him. And I was fortunate enough, man. So one thing that I'm excited about for this album is that people who know no, my wife can sing. And I've been trying to get her to record music forever.
Yeah.
Since we've been together for 10 years. And she won't do it. She hadn't been doing it. And I finally got in the studio for this album.
Nice.
That's what's
Bro.
up, man.
And like, so she got 3 songs that she's leading and singing.
Nice.
And then a couple other songs
Amen.
that she's doing backgrounds, bro.
Wow.
And it's funny because one of the songs on there, she actually wrote for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize it until like well after we recorded it and mixed it and mastered it. And then I broke down once I realized it. But she wrote a song. She came to me one day because we recorded a few songs and you know, truth be told, like it was a few times I thought I was gonna lose my marriage behind this recording.
Oh,
but
man.
it was rough. It was rough. Oh my gosh, bro! It's like if you got a spouse, you know it's hard to do anything like that with them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, mine's watching now, so you don't do anything wrong, baby.
It was rough, man. But she sent these lyrics and she was like, you know, I don't know what you think about these, but I wrote these, and you know maybe you can, you know, produce a track to them and you can help me write it and stuff like that. I was like, so I read them. I was like, oh gosh, this is dope. And so like this last May, for the first time, she went to South Africa with me.
Okay.
And like she was affected the same way I was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so she wrote these lyrics about that experience with me and her.
Yeah.
And so lyrics were super dope. And then, so I produced the song. I created the melodies, wrote the song, and all of this kind of stuff. And then we got there and recorded. And then one day, I was reading the lyrics. I was like, babe, like, what made you write this? She was like, I wrote it for you. I was like, this is about me, really? And I broke down, bro.
Oh man,
it's sweet, man.
We all would have.
Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I'm a joyful
so-
crier.
Yeah.
I'm a
man.
joyful crier.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, the latest single is out right now. You go to YouTube and watch it. Give Your Life by Jay Lee, the producer.
It's a video.
Yes, a video.
It's
Okay,
a dope
okay.
video too.
Yeah.
I heard. I didn't think South Africa. I thought Caribbean. It had a Caribbean. I thought it was a Caribbean sound.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
But it's dope. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
dope,
man. So like, what's crazy about it, dude? So I had this idea whenever I was, you know, I knew that I was gonna make that one of my singles. I was like, man, it'd be dope if I could find one of those dudes who like make the puppets dance, like the string puppets dance, you know. And so I was like, I just got online and started looking for people, you know, string puppet masters and all, you know.
Yeah.
And come to find out, bro, that's like a huge thing in South Africa.
Really?
Like puppets, like not just the puppeteers, but like the making of puppets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, those when you see the big ones on stage where they're like walking with them, like where they're like in, those, like all of that's created in South Africa.
Oh.
It's like a huge deal over there. And so I'm like, oh shoot. And so I found this one dude, goes by the name of Puppet Sula, but his name is Jabulani. And I'm like, okay, this is a dude. Like, he was so dope with it, man. If you go and watch the video, you'll see him doing his thing. But so I'm like, okay, I found out that he's in South Africa.
Yeah.
So I hit up a few of my people in South Africa, like, man, like, can you help me find this dude? He's like, I'll see this dude all the time in Sun City. Sure enough, he connected me with him, and I was like, when I tell you, like, God's hand has been all over this project, bro.
Yes, it has.
Because it's like, okay, I found this dude in South Africa.
Yeah.
How do I get the video?
Nah.
And one of my homeboys, who he's on the album, on the I got 17 songs on this album, so I'm trying to. What's the name of this song? Your Way is the name of the song, featuring L Boogie. And so I've known Lonnie since we were in college together. He wrestled at OU. Okay. And so Lonnie's on the album. I did a listening party early in the process. He loved the album and was like, man, I'll help you in any way. I was like, I know you do videos. You know, can you shoot a video for me? He's like, shoot, yeah, I'll do it. And so he shot the Burn For You video with Sid Carter. And as we're talking about, you know, we're on set in between takes. And I'm like, yeah, bro, remember I was telling you about the puppet dude? I found him. And I was like, man, yeah, like, so now I'm just trying to figure out a way to get it shot. And then we both looked at each other at the same time. It's like, you about to be in South, because he travels to South Africa every year. And so he was just like, I'll shoot it when I'm there. And so like, that's how I was able to get the puppets in the video, because like, bro, it's just like I'm talking about. It's just like, God dang. And so yeah, man. We got on the phone with Jabulani, and Jabulani was excited and to do the project and do the video. And so when Lonnie went over there to visit, connected with Jabulani, shot the video, man. And yeah, it's been the funnest, most rewarding and enriching projects that I've ever produced.
I really hate. I missed the listening party because I can't wait to hear this album.
I'm excited for you to hear it, man. I'm excited for it to hear you. I'll actually send you. I'll send it to you this week, so you can listen to it before. Okay. And maybe give a review. Yeah. Let me know what you truly think. And that's not me.
If it's you, everything's gonna sound good.
Well, so. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I put a lot of time and effort into it, man.
I tell you that we had Mars as the open mic featured artist twice.
Yep.
And the last time he did no better, and everybody was just they asked him to do it twice.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So yes, is that South African style? That song.
So yes, but no.
Okay.
This is before I really understood it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I was dibbling and dabbling in it.
Yeah.
Now when I listen back to it, it's like, kind of missed the mark. But
yeah,
I went back and remixed it. And so the remix is on this album.
Oh,
the remix
really?
to No Better is on this album. And it fits more in that vein of, of like the real Amapiano style music. Yeah.
Wow, man. So you talked about being at OU and you took the players to South Africa.
Yep.
So you're in Soul. We'll talk briefly about it. You're in the Soul Mission.
Yep.
So just tell us what that is and kind of the impact you guys are doing.
Yeah, man. So Soul Mission is our player development department with the football team.
Okay.
It's a vision of Coach Venables that he wanted for a long time, and he always said that if he ever became a head coach, he would do this.
Yes.
And so. It's our player development department, but he just gave it a cool name, Soul Mission. And SOUL is actually an acronym, SOUL, stands for Serving Our Uncommon Legacy. And the uncommon part comes from a quote by George Washington Carver that says, when you can do the common things in life in an uncommon way, you'll command the attention of the world. Mm-hmm. And so really the work that we're doing within Soul Mission is to build the uncommon man with our student athletes. And so we develop and run programming that helps our guys grow off the field and helps them develop tools for life. So, community engagement, showing them the importance of having purpose beyond your own self-interest, life skills development, and that would include financial literacy, things like we got a how-to series, like how to cook breakfast, how to cook a steak, how to treat a woman.
That's awesome, man.
And we develop these programs to teach them these things. And then we have a career and professional development, and that's centered around a micro internship, which is like a 1-week internship out of the summer, where they can. And even to get to that point, it's a long process because they have to. Every player on our team has a resume that they update twice a year. They go through interview preparation seminars that we bring in specialists to teach them about, and then they have to interview with these 35 businesses that have agreed to offer these micro internships. And these businesses will come out for 2 days in the spring. And these guys will look at the profiles of those businesses and say, oh, yeah, I'd like to interview for this one. I'd like to interview for this one. And then they interview with them over the course of these 2 days. And then those companies will, like, they're not just going to automatically do it. They're going to be like, I want to offer this kid a micro internship, this kid. And, I mean, these are businesses all across the country, New York, Atlanta, Florida, Denver, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, Dallas, Arizona, San Francisco, like all over the country. And so, they get these internships, and then 1 week out of the summer, they'll go and spend time shadowing the C-suite members, the CEOs, CFOs, CMOs. And then they write a report at the end of that week. And they also get paid to do these internships too. Wow. And so phenomenal program, man. And, as good as our programming is, and it's truly second to none. Like, we ain't nobody in the country doing what we're doing as far as our programming with our student athletes. But more than that, like the way we serve our players is like above and beyond anything. I mean, I've babysat some of our kids, some of our players' kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I babies, like one of like a few years ago when Theo was still here, Theo Weiss.
Yeah.
He it was during spring and it was a Monday practice and we had changed the schedule last minute, and he has a little son. And he like, Josh, man, like I couldn't find a sitter.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Hey, bring him on up here, man. Uncle Coach Josh got him. And so I looked after little Theo for a few hours while Theo was at practice and doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And so like, you know, it's stuff like that. You know, whether like if a guy's having surgery, like one of us is there with him. If you know a guy's going through a hard time, like it's us. You know, one of our guys lost his best friend, and on their way to practice, he stopped in his locker, grabbed his phone, and he got the message. And like he was distraught. Obviously, coaches, they got to go to practice.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they got to go to practice. Soul Mission, we right there with him, praying with him.
That's awesome.
You know, holding him up, making sure that we, you know, employ the resources so that he can, you know, get back home and be with his people. And so, it really is like we consider it. I consider it a ministry, and that's just the field, you know, that the Lord has me tending to right now. And so, yeah, man, it's a blessing.
Yeah, there's only one.
Yeah, that's it. Only one.
He's a LSU fan, so Brian Kelly doesn't do that. So he's coming.
He ain't got that.
Yeah. hey, man, hey, Brian Kelly, step your game up. LSU, step your game up.
Exactly.
Like some Soul Missions. I ain't ashamed to say that.
Yeah,
step
man.
your game up.
Tell everybody how they can follow you, how they can support your ministry, man.
Yeah, man. Shoot, you can find me on Instagram. That's primarily where I spend a lot of my time at J Lee Productions. That's JLEE Productions. And then, you know, I don't know about TikTok no more. That might be gone in a week.
We'll find out in 6 days.
Yeah, we'll find out in 6 days. But if you are following me, it's J Lee the Producer on TikTok. And so, yeah, man, look out for the album. And then I also got to plug my other thing.
Yeah, plug it.
So as I was producing this album and like really having this deep, enriching experience, spiritual experience with the Lord, showing me and taking me through all of these things, I was like, man, like I really hope that people will have a similar experience that I had going through this when they listen to the music. And I'm like, Lord, how do I do that? And he gave me an idea. Like, and so I released a devotional. 365-day devotional. Actually, it's more than that. So the idea, at the time that I came up with this idea, I had 12 songs on the album.
Yeah,
it's a lot more than that now. But my deal was, I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus 1 month out of the year for one song. And so, like for instance, "Oh How Precious Is His Presence." Yeah, January. Every day of January in the devotional is talking about the importance of being in the presence of God and staying in the presence of God every single day. Different scripture, different reflection notes, and all of that kind of stuff.
Is this on a website or
Amazon?
Yeah. Oh, okay. We can go purchase it.
You can go purchase it. Okay. The Complete Devotional. The Complete Devotional. Okay. By Josh Norman. But yeah, man, it's.
I'm gonna get that.
Huh?
I'm gonna get that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And so it's not just 365 days. There's an extra 90 days in there because I added 3 more songs. So if you going through the book, all this year, next year you might start off with those next 3. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that that God gave me that for me it's just another way to help people draw near to God. Yeah. And so like the subtitle, and I'll finish with this, but the subtitle is a guide to a life completely devoted to God and total satisfaction in God, just like what He gave me. You know what I'm saying? And so I pray that y'all get that, y'all be blessed by it. And it's a thick devotional.
Oh, it's hard copy.
It's paperback. Oh, paperback. But I mean, it's
got some pages in there.
Yeah, it's 470 pages. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
Yeah, so it's a lot, man. And so like you can either download the paperback, or you can download the ebook.
Okay.
Through Kindle. Yep.
I get
So,
the paperback. I like to have them. It
Yeah.
makes me feel smarter.
Put it on
when
the-
I
Well,
have
the good
books.
thing is it has spaces on each devotional to take notes.
Oh, okay.
So if you had a book, you'll be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we just got done with the re-engage at church.
Yeah. How was that, man? I heard good
it was
things.
awesome, man.
Y'all went through Alpha, right? Or was that something else?
No, Alpha is where you're learning more about apologetics.
Okay.
I think that's
Yes,
what it is.
that's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, re-engage was awesome, man.
Okay.
It really helped our marriage. It did.
Good. Oh yeah, that's right. It's
Yeah.
this marriage
Yeah.
thing. I heard about that. We weren't able to do it. Man, that football schedule is
Yeah.
real. It's real, bro.
Yeah.
I don't be having the opportunity to do stuff like that.
Well,
But hopefully I can re-engage soon.
well, God to make a way for it to happen if it needs to happen.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate you for having me,
God,
man.
this is Jay Lee, the producer. Go get his new stuff. Go follow him. Support him. This has been an Artist Spotlight interview.